So, a big part of the work that you have just done has not only been able to look and reflect upon your past and see the patterns and understand why you've made the choices you have, and now consciously choose to do otherwise. But another big part is stepping into your own power and championing yourself and this newfound knowledge, a deeper understanding and acceptance of these gifts that haven't received their due potentially in the past from you and most definitely from others. I say that without blame. It's all of us have been there, and I'm about to share one of my stories. Because the work I have done, the reason why I've created this program, all came to a beautiful head last night and has just blossomed and expanded today. So I am, of course, continuing my work to grow and expand on a regular basis. It's something that we should all strive to do in business and personally. So I recently was alerted to this new coaching program that was having this great incentive for a nominal fee. You could try it for 21 days, and then if it was a good fit, you could commit to a monthly membership. And what spoke to me initially about the group is that they were saying that they were empowering people, that it was all about empowering individuals to step into their authenticity, which I try to do every day. And it's really been a mission and purpose of mine to just be myself in sharing these videos and in the work that I do, and not to edit or worry about perfectionism or being super polished, that the message is more important. So their message landed with me. And so I enrolled and took in some of what they were sharing initially and introduced myself to the group. And much like I preached to you guys, doing the work, taking the steps to really integrate it and process it in order for it to benefit me. And then last week got a little busy. I've launched the new rewrite program and another passion project, the Connect Vancouver, and so on and so forth. So as you all well know, life can intercede. So I made an intentional point of hopping on last night and doing catch up, which involved watching a video, and then they had some integrative work, much like I've provided for you here. And I'm watching the video, and it's a couple that run this group, and I'm watching the video, and that feeling of discontent, of my body telling me very clearly that what was being shared was off. It was not in alignment with me. It was not honorable and respectful. They more or less were shaming and calling out not only people that were participating in the group, but other public figures within the coaching industry, and gossiping and saying things that were not for them to share. And it felt really icky. And while I'm watching this video and paying attention to how it's landing my body and knowing that this isn't for me, I get tagged in a post. So I step off the video and I go to check out the post that I've been tagged in. And they have more or less publicly within the group shamed me for not participating enough. Suggesting that I thought I was better than the other individuals. They called out about 8 of us. How they made this decision, I don't know. Called out about 8 of us, suggesting that I thought I knew better, or that I was better, or that I thought I was better than other people in the group or them, that I was a hypocrite, that I wasn't walking my talk, that because I wasn't doing the work, I was less than in some way. And this triggered me to the nth degree, if I'm being really honest. Now, once upon a time, before I had done all this deep heart work myself, before developing these programs for you guys and others, old Andrea, with her old belief system and her old story, would have doubted myself. I would have accepted and taken on the shame as my own. I would have questioned, was I not doing enough? And am I being a hypocrite? And do I think I'm better than these people? And all these devaluing and limiting statements would start creeping into my head, and I'd feel shame, and I then would participate because I had been shamed into doing it. It would not be authentic. I would be doing it because I wanted to be accepted and seen that I was part of the group and doing my part. But this time, and the shift for me is not only doing this work, but here's the gift and the lesson for you guys tonight that I really want to bestow upon you is it was my old stories, my past experience, in particular in a very unhealthy relationship with a narcissist who was loving and adoring, but if I pushed up against him at all and did not agree or step into a line with what he wanted, he did this exact same behavior. So not only was I shamed in the group, but then what happened, so maybe I'll tell you the whole story first, is knowing that this was not right and not self-honoring and not within integrity and honoring me and my value and incorrect, I stood up for myself. I didn't slink off into the night or think this is bullshit and just leave the group and the program. I used my voice. I stood up for myself and told them with no question that this is not acceptable. It's not cool or acceptable that they have done this to myself or others in the group, that it is untrue, and this is not how you inspire others to expand, grow, and open up, that this is diminishing, and that I won't accept it. And then he proceeded to reply by saying, well, see, if I hadn't, poked you and called you out, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And this, again, is bullying and manipulation. He's deflecting it back on me and not owning what he has initially done, which is not acceptable. So again, I clearly stated my boundary that no, that is not the case. This is not acceptable behavior, and that I will no longer be participating within a group that treats their members as such and diminishes others. And then I proceeded to leave the group, cancel my membership, email them and make it quite clear why I was leaving. And then being inspired and, to be honest, a bit put off and upset from the experience, I did a post reminding people on my private page that shame is never acceptable. It doesn't matter who that person is, how famous or how much money they make or who they are, that shame is never acceptable. The situation is to shame someone is never acceptable. It is unequivocally never okay. I go to bed. I wake up this morning and this person has gone and posted not only on that post, but on several others and private messaged me. So now he's upped the bullying. And with narcissists is they'll love you and then they'll rake you through the coals and diminish you in order to gain more control. And then when they see that they've maybe pushed it too far in order to garner that control back, then they'll be all sweetness and light, which is what he was doing. It was very passive aggressive, and he was doing it publicly all over my posts and in my private message. So then I proceeded to block him. I did not need to be baited into another conversation, rationalize, explain it away, get into a dialogue. I had already made it quite clear what my boundary was, and this was a cease and desist. I am so proud of being able to see this behavior so clearly for what it is, and even more so understanding that it is not okay for me. It gave me an opportunity to practice my boundaries. So instead of falling into the old story of, woe is me, or I can't believe this happened to me, or what a jerk, or any of that, I am elated. I am incredibly grateful that this individual has provided me an opportunity to practice stepping into and championing my power, my worth, my value. And what you will discover as you start to step into and practice and bolster your newfound knowledge, your deeper understanding of your self-worth and value, is that you will have individuals like this that will challenge you, will trigger exactly the stuff that you are just have gone through the process of releasing. And it's almost like the universe is just testing your resolve. Like, are you really committed to you? Are you really willing to stand firm with your boundaries and say what's okay and what's not? And let me just say, it does not mean that you need to get angry or allow someone else to invite you into a fight. It is a very calm and gracious, no thanks, not okay, and I'm done. There's no other conversation, there's no explanation, just that behavior is simply not acceptable. So I thought it was really important that I shared this experience with you guys. If you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate in reaching out. It took me in that really unhealthy relationship I described earlier, being pushed to the brink to the point where, like, the straw that broke the camel's back, for me to learn my lesson. It was tap, tap, brick for me to get it, which made me dive into this work and question why I was making the choices and how did I end up in that place. And that's what's established Release and Rewrite and Ignite. The whole Create Your Love Story series is all on my own learnings and lessons. And it's so very valuable. So what I want to send you off with as this group comes to a wrap at the end of this month, and we'll touch on all of this again on our bonus call on the 2nd of January, is it's up to you to champion yourself. Nobody else. You. So take all that you've learned, take all that diving through the muck and the mud, and use it as this wealth of knowledge on how to navigate yourself through your relationships in your life, romantic or otherwise, with grace. And boundaries don't mean armor. They just simply mean a loving line that you get to establish what's okay to cross and what's not. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be soft and loving, but firm and clear. So I hope this offers a little inspiration to you. And again, if you have any thoughts, don't hesitate in reaching out. Continue to do the work. I'm here to support you. Big love, you guys. Have a great night.